If you're in a season of loss, just remember that every time you level up, you lose something. A relationship, a habit, a job, an old version of yourself. Maybe you're losing multiple things at the same time and it feels like your life is crumbling. Most likely, it's because what's coming is a completely new life. And we can fight with the universe for those old things that we were clinging to. But think about it. Have you been asking for a different life? Did you actually like that life that you're clinging to? Or are you just so afraid to sit in this emptiness, waiting for your new life, building your new life, that you try to cling to these things that you know you actually aren't aligned with anymore? And if you take a deeper look, you understand that those friends that left you were never really there to support you. We're never really going to be your cheerleaders. We're never going to see you at your ultimate level of success and be there by your side. Before you start winning, before you start succeeding, it will almost always come after a season of isolation, a time in your life where you feel like no one is there to support you. If that is the case, then you can know that you are on the right track. Personally, I know that I will not be satisfied unless every category of my life is exceptional. I want an exceptional family. I want an exceptional relationship with myself. I want inner peace that is guru level. I want to be exceptionally successful. I want to be the best in the world at what I do. I want to be one of one. I want my romantic partnership to be a role model for others. And I see friends who also have that same level of expectation and standard for themselves. And right now, I'm not there yet. I am not the best in the world at what I do, but I know I'm on the path. So in a way, I am, because the people who are the best in the world at what they do had to go through what I'm going through right now. They had to believe in their vision beyond what they saw with a certain stubbornness and resilience and discipline, not giving up even if the results aren't matching up with the vision, because they know if they continue to step into the version of them who would have it, eventually it will come into their life. And I know that I will achieve the life that I'm dreaming of because I'm willing to pay the price. I know that there is a cost that comes with anything worth having, and I am willing to be lonely. I'm willing to be isolated. I'm willing to be misunderstood. I'm willing to put myself out there. I literally don't care because I feel like I'm truly on assignment. I feel like I don't have a choice in some ways. Like I'm on a mission, and there is this voice in my head that is nagging, and it won't let up. If I don't post on social media for a certain amount of time, it literally is like a humming voice. It's like, you have to do this. You know that this is meant for you. And I'm like, okay. And holding big vision, but then focusing on small progress has really helped me so much, because if I think about where I have to be in like a year, where I want to be in a year, oh my God, I'm just like, I'm not doing enough. All I have to do is sit and eat the meal in front of me. I don't have to think about the 5-course meal, right? That's up to God. God is the chef. God is the one who's sourcing the ingredients. God is the one who's planning the whole entire meal. All I have to do is sit and eat the meal that is in front of me. That's it. Say that your dream life is this beautiful, insanely gorgeous, unique bouquet of flowers. And right now, the only flowers that you have that are going to be in that future bouquet are the greenery. The greenery is cool. You got the eucalyptus, you got the baby's breath or whatever. But all of the main star flowers that you used to have, the peonies and the sunflowers, they all got taken away. Maybe that was a relationship you thought you would always have, or maybe that was a city you thought you would always be living in, or a job that you thought you would always have. The main stars of your old bouquet all got taken away. So now all you have is greenery, and you're like, what kind of bouquet is this? And trusting your vision is just sitting with the greenery and being like, okay, that sunflower got taken away because I know that in my future bouquet, I don't really want sunflowers. I actually want the erythrium. What are those really gorgeous flowers called again? It's called an anthurium flower. Like, I see a deep red anthurium flower in my future bouquet, but do those really go with sunflowers? Not really. So that had to be removed. The good thing is that I usually don't have to remove those flowers. Those people remove themselves. That sunflower just jumped out of the bouquet and said, bye. At first, it can be really hard because, you're feeling that lack, the emptiness, the scarcity of really not having any star flowers in your bouquet, but really just trusting and believing that the better flowers are on the way and that I will be restored. There's a phrase that I keep saying in my head, and I almost imagine like my spirit guides or my angels or God or my higher self saying, you're gonna love what we've got planned for you. Like there are people who are planning my destiny who see how it works out, or even just a future version of me saying, listen girl, like you don't see how it's gonna turn out, but if you stay the path, you will understand how necessary this part of your life is for your future. And I just think about that anytime that I'm like, oh my God, like this is so hard to create something and to build something that you've never built before. I almost imagine it like I'm a gardener and at this point, right, I've grown this incredible blackberry bush. I have this gorgeous pine tree. I have a bunch of avocado trees. Like I've done the work. I know how to be a gardener, but now I'm trying to grow this really difficult peach tree, and I've grown it from a seed. And at this point, the fruit's not there at all. And it's still growing. And every single day I check on it, but it doesn't even look like it's growing. I don't even see any leaves sprouting, and it can be so discouraging. But I'm like, okay, this is how it goes. I know how it goes. I've grown the blackberry bush. I know that you can't focus every single day on this small amount of growth. Like it's going to be imperceptible. But after a few months, maybe even a few years, you'll reap the benefits of the fruit, but you really can't rush it. It's like opening up a rosebud so that it blooms. It's like, no, let it bloom. Let it be fragrant. Let it happen at its correct time. And so many of us want to smell the roses and smell the beauty right away. So we try to rush it, or we get frustrated that it's not there. And what I'm trying to do in my life right now is literally repeating this phrase: my life is meant to be savored. I want to savor every moment. And I just think about 90-year-old me who could look back at her life, and I want her to be able to say, I didn't rush through any moment. I believe that every part of my life was sacred. When I had kids, when I didn't have kids, when I was single, when I was lonely, when I was going through pain, when I was going through heartbreak, when I was elated, when I was joyful, when I was getting everything that I ever wanted in my life, when I lost it all. Like every part of my life is worth feeling, and I refuse to believe that only the pleasurable parts of my life are the ones worth living. And it's also knowing that pain is what allows pleasure to exist. If there was no pain, there would be no pleasure. And I'm so grateful for the anger and the hatred and the grief that tells me, don't go that direction. Don't keep going towards those people who make you feel unseen and unwanted and who are under-resourced and who can't meet your needs. Go towards the people and the places and the things and the opportunities that can meet your needs. That's the frequency I'm exiting. If you are under-resourced, or you just don't see my value, or maybe you do see your value, but you simply cannot meet my needs, I can't be around it. I'm unsubscribed. And it's really hard because there's so many people I love who are in that frequency, but I just can't do it anymore because that's reaffirming to me that that's what I deserve. So I have to put up a boundary and say, I would love you to be in my life, but only if you can really meet these standards. And it's not because I'm better or superior or anything like that. It's just, this is how I deserve to be treated. And I'm going to stand firm on this. That was like one of the biggest things I've been learning recently. It's almost like the cataracts fell from my eyes, and I realized that I was just stuck in this loop of asking people who are under-resourced to give me what I need, and they're like, I can't do it. And I have to say, oh, instead of like, why can't you do it? Don't you see my value? Because they might say, yeah, I do, but I don't have it. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the affection. I don't have the emotional capabilities to meet you where you're at. And I have to say, okay, like I'm gonna let you be who you are, because that's the most loving thing that I can do. And I'm going to go find people who can love me the way that I deserve, because that's what I would want for you, and that's what I want for me too. And that's what I would want for my daughter or son who doesn't exist. I know that I want to be a mom, and I feel like in some ways my whole life is going to be training for being a mom, because to be a good mom, you have to be a good person. And I feel like that's what I'm training to do. Like, am I someone who's worth being a role model? Am I someone who a young child could be around and see my life, not even hear any of the words that I say, but just see how I act? And would they end up a good person? Would I be inhabiting good things into their life? And that's one of the things that I really want. So that's what I have to be before that happens. So it's kind of interesting to think about it that way. One thing that I think about a lot is that a sign of a mature individual is having an emotional palate that goes beyond pleasure. Because if you think about children, speaking of children, their palates are very simple, right? They like sweet, maybe salty. They can only handle these very simplistic flavor profiles. And emotionally, I think a lot of human beings, they can only handle pleasure, joy, and then maybe they can only say that's anger, right? They don't even have the language to describe what they're experiencing emotionally. And they just assume because they're adults that they have emotional fortitude and emotional acuity. But in reality, emotions are very complex. Understanding what's really going on requires an insane amount of self-awareness and even just the ability to have time to self-reflect. That's one thing that is a huge privilege because so many people are in survival mode just trying to get through the day. They don't have the time to reflect or even to think about it for 1 second. And yeah, maybe they don't make the time, but there isn't an abundance of time to be able to do such a thing. I think that's why we need spiritual teachers and spiritual leaders who have had the time and who have dedicated their life to do that, to pave a way. And yet so many spiritual teachers and leaders, at least in organized religion, have led us astray. And it's become like a capitalistic thing. So there's a lot of mistrust around spiritual leadership in churches in general. So it's really a shame. But back to having a complex palate, right? Somebody who can taste the layers of flavor, someone who is a sommelier and understands wine, they have a mature palate. Same thing with emotions. What do I do with grief, sadness, loneliness? What do I do when I'm experiencing the complexity of loving someone, but also being hurt by them or feeling betrayed by them? What do I do when someone doesn't treat me the way that I need to be treated, but I deeply love them? That's a complex emotion. How can I savor the bitterness of life alongside its sweetness? That's what emotional maturity is, and understanding that I actually want that. I actually don't want things that are just sweet. Sometimes I do, but I'm so down for beer. I'm so down for emotional beer. I'm so down for how hard it is to let go of something that you've held onto for so long that has been so dear to you but no longer serves you. And how can I relish in the burn, the pain of building something from scratch, being all alone, not having anyone be there for you because I know that there will be a payoff in the end. Being able to have emotional foresight as well, being able to see like this isn't forever. This is just for right now, and I'm willing to withstand this pain for future blessings. And I think the respect that you have for yourself when you go through the process of something that's really excruciating or agonizing for a life that you know is better than the one that you have right now, no one can take that away. Right? You can lose your money, you can lose friendships, you can lose a lot of things, but no one can take away the person that you become in the process. And that's why for me, building a business based off my creative gifts, based off what I love doing is so important because it's spiritual development, it's personal development. And I know that going through this process is going to force me to become a kind of person who has certain characteristics that can't be taken away from me. The results are very important, and you need those results to be evidence of the person that you become, but I will not shortcut the results. I could get a rich boyfriend tomorrow. I can marry somebody rich and have them pay for my whole entire lifestyle, get the things that building a business would get me, right? I can get the results in a way that shortcuts the work, but I want to do the work. As agonizing as it is to do it, I want to do it because I want to become the kind of person who can do it. That's my reason. Not because I want the results, but I do definitely want the results. Trust me, I want the results. That is definitely one of the motivating factors, but it's not the only motivating factor because I know how to get it without it. If you're somebody who really wants to show up online and start building a business and be more fearless about who you are, grow spiritually, personally develop through building a business online, my new cohort starts on September 7th. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to start working with ambitious and creative women who are ready to really let their old self die and step into their new self. I know how hard of a process it is, and having someone there to guide you through it and to let you know when you're on track, because a lot of the times it feels like you're not, but you are. It feels like you're not, but you actually are. And having someone there to be like, no, this is exactly what you need to be doing. I know you're not getting the results. It's not because you're not doing it correctly. This is how it works. And that's one of the most, I think, invaluable things of having a coach to walk you through it. If you're interested in that, you can apply. The link is in the description. That's all I have to say for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.